Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Well. Gold 25.53. It's a happy day. I was watching some videos yesterday. Oh, gold might come down and gold this and gold that. And they're all so fucking clueless. It's just amazing how stupid these people are. They don't understand bricks. They don't understand Comex has been fixing it for a long time. Anyway, just a second. Let me say hey to the girls. Okay. Now, I got questions about this class. Is there two classes? Yeah, I've been saying that, but yes, we will repeat it. There's two classes. There's this class, which is free, which we go over general. This team's an A team. This team's a Z team. This is off of a loss, a little generic, so you understand what you're doing. Hey, Pat. Yeah, 25, 53. I'm expecting 2,600. According to Mark McGuire, once it hits, it's gone. It's not going to, that was the stopping point was 25.30. So I'm expecting to see 3,000 pretty soon. Anyway, so yeah, this class is to go, I'll go over the line, any injuries, general, Michigan's off of a loss, but to get my picks, all my picks, you either go into NFL and you get all my NFL picks, or college and you get all my college picks, where I will do a private class for as many people as want. At normally, like tonight, if I'm playing tonight's game, I would have a private class now and say, okay, it'd be a quick class. All right, here's tonight's game. Friday will be for Saturday and Sunday. I'll do a NFL class Friday and an ncaa class on Friday night, and you'll get all the picks for the weekend. And then Saturday morning, I can do a class just to go through any line movements or changes, and or if there's any new picks. And the same thing Sunday morning, I can go through a real quick private class. Here's the lines. Here's, Jordan Love's playing or Jordan Love's out, and we go from there. So that's kind of the difference. Now, they're only $25. It's $25 a week. So you go to my Teaserking site, boom, boom, boom. You go to purchase picks right there. And then you go down here and so you go down to the bottom, purchase picks, and you go college picks, YouTube class, 25 a week, or pro picks, YouTube class, 25 a week. Pay the 25. I'll get your email, and then you won't really need a password. I will then do a private class. This is public, so anybody can watch it. I'll do a private one. I'll have your email from the purchase, and then I will go and do just what I'm doing now, just what I do for baseball, where I just go through the picks. Similar thing. And then you got questions. Well, what do you like in the Philadelphia game? And I might not have it as a pick, and then I will give you my opinion. I will go through every game and give you my score and my analysis for the games. And here's the picks, and here's my locks. And it's a 15-unit lock on this and this. And I will do that. So that's the idea, is just to do a private class, $25. I think if you're betting, you can afford $25. And that's it. And then off you go, and then you get it. Or you can just purchase the picks the normal way. You can just go in and say, I want, give me your locks, give me your pro picks, give me your college picks. So this is the week. This is a discount for the month and a discount for the year. And you can get, pro or college, or you get both. You get every game only for 100. So these are each 75, but for another 25, you get all the pro and college. And you know me, I have 8-9 games, teasers. But I'm very clever with the teasers in the fact that if I find a lock, like last week, Nebraska over Colorado, right? That was a lock. I had them in 2 teasers. And that's the part that you got to understand. We want to bet the locks and multiple teasers. We hope they win. Again, I'm not made off, so I actually bet the games, and then we see what happens. I don't like, well, I didn't bet the games, but oh yeah, and just say, well, I won this game and that game and that game without betting them. So that I'm not made off. So I can't go 100%. Again, we lost Cincinnati, New England. Okay, we won Oakland under, Nebraska, Michigan under. So I go 3-1. But when I play them in two teasers, now I got 8, and I go 6-2. Now it's a very profitable week. So I'm hoping to hit all the locks, but it's just not possible. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So and this is a free class, but I won't go through picks. You'll have to join that other class or just buy the pick, whatever's easier for you. By having a private class, you should still, because this is live, you can still go into the class. So if you miss Friday and I do it at whatever, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and you're not home or you're in a different time zone and you're working, you can still get the picks. Just go on the the video will be there just like this one, and it's by email. So you type in your email, you go, oh, okay, and then you get to see the video. So I'll do it live like I do this, but if you're not around, you can still watch it. I know Bobby watches the videos after the point. So anyway, so that's all it is. Again, it's a weekly thing, just like the picks. You buy a week. The week starts Tuesday, goes to Monday, not Monday or not. It doesn't go Sunday to Sunday. It goes Tuesday to Monday, because that's how the schedule breaks out. So this is week 2 for NFL. Starts tonight with the game and ends Monday night. Okay, and that's how I do it. So only I would start Tuesday, because later in the year there's Tuesday games. All right. So enough of that. Let's go through. Let's start with the NFL. We got an NFL game today. And we do see gold breaking that 25.30. So people that don't understand gold, that think, oh, it's going to come down, and they don't realize it's so undervalued. They say silver's undervalued, which it is, but gold's probably more undervalued. And it's just not, nobody really knows what the price is, right? Silver, you've seen it 50 and it's down, and they don't understand why the silver gets its price. They don't understand its derivatives and its price fixed. How are you a gold or silver dealer and miss the most easy fundamental thing of free market? I mean, it's just amazing. So anyway, let's go through. Oh, I didn't tell you the silver price. I was so excited with the gold price. Silver's up to 29.62, and gold 25.53, going up, up, up. See, look at there was no 10 o'clock drop, right? Or very little, and then it just keeps getting eaten because the U.S. can't really do their derivatives. I haven't seen too much U.S. derivatives all in the last 2 weeks. It's been a little bit with London, but you can see London didn't do much. So here we go, a nice $40 day. I mean, we're going to see. This is why I paid $7.22 for the quarter ounce, because when it hits 3,000, and it will, we will see. But I'm glad I showed you Andy Schechtman's how to sell them. So there shouldn't be a 1099 for anybody if you just sell a few at a time. And when the price hits 10,000 an ounce, you're only going to sell a couple. Now, will they change the law when it hits 10,000 an ounce? Probably they'll want their tax, but we will see. So it's going to be curious what we come up with USD number 2 or gold-backed currency. The CBDCs won't work if they're not backed by gold. If there is gold, then why would you do a CBDC? People are stupid. They go, well, there's too many dollars to back it by gold. No, you just make gold 30,000 an ounce, and then you have so many ounces, and that gives you so many dollars. But you probably need to come out with a new currency, gold back. But again, these people are idiots. There's too many dollars to back them. There's not enough gold to back. Yeah, at 30,000 an ounce there is, not at 2,500 an ounce. All right. Let's go to covers. All right. So tonight we got Miami 2.5, 48.5. I have played this game. Um, Allen against Tua, Buffalo with the 28 defense. Again, it's hard to look at the defense now. Miami with the 17, but should be at 24 because the guy fumbled at the goal line. So normally, I think you'll see Buffalo looked sharp last week. I think they'll be sharp. Miami will probably be sharper again week one. Yeah, don't play Tua in the preseason and wonder why he's rusty there. I mean, everybody practices. It's insanity. So anyway, with that said, 2.5, 48.5 tonight. We'll go through injuries in a minute. Dallas 6.5, 46.5, down from 7. New Orleans again. It's hard to read the defenses. It's Carr against Prescott. 46. I'm thinking about this play. I haven't played it yet. Again, it's Dak Prescott, so I get all excited. See, when you watch the game last week against Cleveland, Deshaun Watson was terrible, and he'd go back to pass, and all he did was run. He didn't pass. You're not going to see that with New Orleans. They got a guy named Kamara, and they got a guy named Olavi, and Carr's okay, and they have a fairly good defense. So I'd be shocked if Dallas won by 20 in this game. Now, I haven't picked it yet, and it's just a oversight. Baltimore 8.5, 41.5. That's a good number, getting it under 3. We got Minshew against Lamar, Oakland with the 22 defense, Baltimore 27. Again, I'm not even going to read the defenses. They're really misleading at this point. Like Minnesota's a 6 defense. They played the Giants. So everybody who plays the Giants will have a 6 defense probably. Washington 1.5, 43 to the Giants. Jones against Daniels. Washington is clearly an over team, but they haven't gotten there yet. Daniels will get them points, but their defense just sucks. And the Giants, what can you say? They're definitely a Z team. So I don't know how anybody can bet on Daniel Jones. Maybe in this game because Daniels, but very weak. San Diego, 639 to Carolina. And what can you say? Carolina's a Z team. I don't think they'll get any better. San Diego, I think, puts the big pass rush on Steve Young, and he, 3-4 interceptions. San Diego. Here's where the defense comes in. They'll just kill him. Herbert will do enough. Yeah, San Diego. Indy 2.5, 41 to Green Bay, down from 3.5. So you got Malik Willis, or do we have Love? I mean, he's still not ruling out Love against Richardson. I'm sure Green Bay will put more pressure on him than Houston did. Very dangerous. This would have been an over. So if Love is going to play, this is an over. Without Love, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. Willis doesn't impress me at all. He's a runner. Richardson's a runner. He did make a few good passes last week with that great Houston defense. So this should be 2 over teams playing, and we would go over, but we don't have it. But if we hear Love is playing, then we're going to turn the switch to over, and it's only 41. So this is a joke. Frisco, 45.5 to Mini. We've got Purdy against Darnold. What's Darnold doing? I have no idea. Frisco looked good against the JETSs and Aaron Rodgers. and they did good against the defense. Minnesota, again, with Darnold. Now, how good's their defense? You can't tell because they played the Giants. I think it's okay, but I don't really, you know, I mean, this is an A team against an under team here. The Niners definitely an A team. Jacksonville 341.5 to Cleveland. I guess Watson against Lawrence, the Clemson boys. They both sucked. Cleveland gave up 33 to Dallas, Jacksonville 20 to Miami. I don't know what these teams are. Well, with Watson, Cleveland with a good defense and no quarterback, I don't see them lighting it up against Jacksonville. Are they a good dog here? I have no idea. I don't like Watson. He hasn't played in 5 years. He's just going to play. Trevor Lawrence, he's Myles Garrett's going to eat him for lunch. So we'll see what happens here. But again, not any quarterbacks there. Seattle gets its chance at New England. 3.5, 38.5. Smith against Brissett. Good offense by Seattle. Let's see about their defense. New England, were they really that good to beat Joe Burrow? That we'll have to see. I mean, I'm not buying New England. So I'm not really sure what to make of them. But 38.5, 3.5. With Brissett, they're not going to score a lot, New England. I think they'll end up being an under team if they have a good defense. They're a Z team. They don't have a good defense. With Brissett, they're not going to score a lot. Seattle should score. They're a bunch better as a dog. They should score here, but we just don't, I don't know. What I saw against Cincinnati, I still can't swallow. So I'm like, okay, what should be an easy Seattle win? Well, I don't know anymore. The JETS is 3.5, 41 to Tennessee. Aaron Rodgers against Will Levis. Will Levis, without a brain in his head, throwing an interception, falling down, flipping the ball out of bounds, and it goes right to the Bear guy. When you're winning, and then it costs you the game. So Levis is an idiot. Aaron Rodgers, at least he played the whole game. Look for him to get sharper. He's another just like Joe Burrow. He is very upset at losing, right? Doesn't like to lose. So look for him to be strong. Look for them to get strong. Tennessee is their defense that good. Now, again, they gave up a block punt and it picked 6 for most of the Bears' scores. Caleb did 95 yards. So I think Rodgers will light him up a little bit more. What will Levis do against the Jets? Now, if the Jets play jet ball with a good defense and Aaron Rodgers, then the Jets should win this game. But, it's tough because you see a game where the Jets go to the Niners, right? Okay, now this is Tennessee. It's not the Niners, right? It's not their defense, even though McCaffrey didn't play. So look for that. Tennessee, we're still trying to figure them out. How they blew a 17-0 lead to the Bears. Great coaching there. The Lions, 7.5, 51.5. Line stayed. Detroit went from 7 to 7.5. Both teams with the 20 defense. We get the Baker against Goff. Now, Baker looked great against Washington. Again, you've got to figure it out. Detroit's defense is probably not much better than Washington's. It's about a 30 defense. Stafford was lighting it up. I'm sure Tampa saw the game film, how Stafford was lighting them up, and they'll probably do the same thing. They were running a lot of man in motions, a lot of jet sweeps. Probably hard to run into Detroit, but around Detroit, they're not fast. And I think that the Rams figured out the Lions like run defense and everything. A couple of bad holding calls cost the Rams the game. They would have scored a touchdown on one of them. Really cheap calls by the refs. Um, I don't know. It's a rematch. It was 27-24, I think, in the playoff game. Uh, we'll see. I think there's a few injuries to the secondary I heard for Tampa, but who knows if they'll play. I mean, an injury on Wednesday and then game on Sunday again, they'll take the needle. So I don't know about that, but should be an interesting game. It is revenge for Tampa. Can they get the revenge? Arizona 1.5, 47.5 to the Rammies. We know Panuka's out. We got Stafford against Murray. Buffalo lit up Arizona for 34. And I would think the Rams, even with Puka out, he'll hit Cooper Kupp and then the other guys. Now, the key is Stafford did hurt his ankle in the Lion game. Now, is he going to play or not, or are we going to get Stenson Benson? We'll have to wait and see. So this is an interesting game here. KC, Cincinnati, KC 5.5, 48. Up from 47.5. Again, Burrow against Mahomes. Cincinnati, after getting embarrassed by New England, I'm sure will play a good game. KC with the new Xavier guy or Xander, whatever. Let's see the guy from Triple X, Xander. I think it's Xander or Xavier, whatever. Maybe he's the guy from X-Men, the Xavier guy. So we'll see. I mean, this should be a good game. Again, is Cincinnati really as bad as they looked against New England? Maybe, but this will be a good game. Chase, we know, is going to play, even without the contract. T. Higgins didn't play with the hamstring. Who knows if he'll play? He needs to get more receivers involved, but he needs to throw to Chase a lot. And then where's their running attack? Zach Moss, really? I don't understand picking up Zach Moss. Pittsburgh, 2.5, 36.5 at Denver. If Russell Wilson plays, I like Pitt because it's revenge. Fields against Knicks, then it's a different story. So a lot of it we're waiting. So in class, what I would do is if we don't know Sunday morning, I will go, okay, Stafford's playing. It's going to be Russell Wilson. It's going to be the Tampa secondary. We won't know until then. So those are the things I'll do Sunday class. Friday class, I'll go through the game and say, okay, here's what I'm betting on. Here's my lock. Here's this. Here's that. So that's the difference Sunday. In our normal class, I would probably give you also the injury update. But you won't have the pick, so won't help you. Houston, 645.5 to the Bears. Caleb against Stroud. Don't love either of them, obviously. The Bears, I think, will have a good defense. Houston, no offense. Houston, I don't know what they have. I mean, they let Anthony Richardson throw 2 50, 60-yard passes and complete them for touchdowns. Where's their safety? They don't know how to play safety football. You don't and these guys were like wide open. So I don't know. I don't think they'll do that against the Bears. Indy did it, but again, Oduzzi's questionable, and the other guy, Keenan Allen's questionable. And the last game, Philly, 6.5, 47 to Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, how much does he get better from week one? How he didn't play in the preseason, the coach should be fired for. Are you going to jeopardize 3 or 4 games and then realize you should go to Penix, where if you played Penix in the preseason, you might have won that game against Pittsburgh. They didn't score a touchdown. Fields is just as bad as Cousins, basically. So again, you have Philly, who looked good against a good Green Bay team. Shaquille Barkley looked very strong, a good addition, a good change of pace. Oh shit, we got to cover him. And with that passing attack. So I didn't see Hurts run as much, and he should. You got Barkley, give him the ball, let him run. You got Brown, let him catch the ball. So it could be a better offense without Hurts running. It definitely will be. And that's Lamar's problem. Why isn't he using Derrick Henry? Fuck, you got Derrick Henry and you want to run yourself? Okay, and when you get hurt, then who's the quarterback? Oh, yeah, nobody. Okay. People get hurt all the time in this game. So that's the Monday night game, Sunday night game. Again, Houston, Chicago. Let's check injuries as long as we're in covers.com. Arizona. Kyler Murray, injured knee. I don't know what that means. That could be why the line dropped a little bit. But he's injured. I don't know. Is that I think it says out and doubtful, so I think he'll play. Atlanta, no injuries. Baltimore, just some injured. Josh Allen, injured hand. I'm sure he'll play. See, now here it says T. Johnson, cornerback, out with the forearm. So the guys that are out are out. The guys that are injured, I don't know what it is. Smoot out with the toe, a defensive end. Trubisky's injured with the knee. Who cares? If they have to go to Trubisky, they're in big trouble. And Solomon, a defensive end's doubtful with an oblique. So, again, just the injury. You got Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, injured hand. I'm sure he'll play. I would be shocked. You'll see that line move a lot if he's injured. So you look at the line, it's 2.5, 48.5. It's he's playing. Kyler Murray, again, it went down a half point. We see a 45, he's not playing, but I'm more worried about Stafford. Carolina, they have nobody to talk about. A lot of injuries, but nothing serious. The Bears, a lot of injuries and nothing serious. A foot, a heel, a shoulder, nothing. Oduzzi with an injured knee, Keenan Allen with an injured heel. I'm sure they will play until we hear them out or doubtful. Cincinnati. See, it says Joe Burrow, injured right wrist. Okay, that was last year. I mean, if he's still injured in his right wrist, then we need to know about it. The way he looked, he might be. T. Higgins injured with the hamstring. Nobody's listed that, but it's Tuesday, and now today's Thursday, so we need to see today's injury report. So I bet tonight's game, assuming that I have Josh Allen and I have Tua. Well, let's get to Miami. We'll see. So Cincinnati, a bunch of injured. Joe Burrow, I don't think he's still injured with the right wrist. He can throw the ball. He didn't have any problem throwing. T. Higgins, injured hamstring. That's your questionable. Cleveland, holy shit. Wow. Cleveland's already got, a bunch of injured. But nobody out. I mean, you got to learn to read the injury report to know, it's just, they're just injured. Well, the whole fucking league's injured. Jerry Jeudy injured with the knee. Doesn't help. Dallas injured. Stevens, the tight end, has a hamstring. Some knees, some injured wrist. What the fuck is that? Injured foot. DeMarcus Lawrence, injured wrist. I don't even understand that. Denver, again, just normal injuries. Reynolds, injured Achilles. Is he out? Doesn't say he's out. I don't know. Detroit. What is SAF? Is that safety field versus safety? I don't know. Nobody out for the Lions, just some injuries. D-line, an SAF. Their wide receiver Williams, yeah, he's always hurt. And then 2 more SAFs. So 3 of their safeties are injured, but are they out? Green Bay, Jordan Love is injured knee. He's not out. So I can give you that as like a half free pick. If Jordan Love is ruled to play, we're betting this extremely hard over against Indiana. If he's ruled out, we're not touching the game because I'm not betting on Malik Willis. But if Love is playing, and you can go and tease Green Bay because Indy's 2.5-point favorites. You'll know by the spread. If all of a sudden Green Bay goes to a 3-point favorite and the over-under shoots to 47, you'll know he's playing. If it stays like this, you know he's out. So you don't even have to look it up. Just look at the line. Vegas will tell you what's going on. So right now he's injured knee. That's it. Houston, nothing. Indy, nothing. Jacksonville, nothing. Kansas City, injured. That's about it. Couple of defensive tackles are injured, but are they playing or not? I mean, what kind of injury are they? San Diego, Boza, injured back. Khalil Mack, injured rest. What does that mean, injured rest? Bosa, he looked fine at the end of the game, so I don't know what these injuries are. I think they're just playing around when they get these reports. So I can't imagine Bosa and Mack again. We would see the line be about 2 and the over-under go way up. So right now we don't see that. The Rams. Okay, Stafford's fine. And they're still the dog. See, how can they be? If Kyler Murray is really injured, why would Arizona be the favorite, right? 1.5. And if Stafford was injured, but I don't see Stafford here. I see 2 offensive linemen injured foot, a tight end, a linebacker, and a DB, and they're all injured. That's it. Nobody's out. Nobody's doubtful. Oakland. Just injured. Nobody doubtful or out. Just regular. They're sore, probably. Brock Bowers injured foot. He broke it at Georgia, and he was out for 4 or 5 games. But that's it. Miami. Mozart out with the chest. There you go. That's the difference. Mozart's out with the chest. Earl Campbell, defensive back, questionable with an Achilles for tonight. Aknane, running back, questionable with an ankle. Lineman, injured. Cornerback, Ramsey, injured hamstring. Phillips, injured Achilles. Long, injured finger. And Marcus Washington, wide receiver, out with the quad. So they have a running back, Mozart, out. They have a wide receiver, Washington, I don't know, out. And a couple of questionables, Aknane and Earl Campbell. So, but you can see how it says out, right? So we know they're out. That's all we care about. Minnesota, Van Kinkel, injured foot. Naylor and Addison are both injured ankles, probably play. The Giants, Slayton, wide receiver, injured concussion protocol. The rest are just injured groin. The JETSs, just some injuries to knees, but nobody's out. A couple of defensive players. New England, the whole team's injured, but nobody's out. Stevenson injured rest. What does injured rest mean? What, the guy's got to rest? Jennings, Lowe, okay. New Orleans, a bunch of injured, but nobody's serious. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badgers on New Orleans, injured heel. I'm sure he'll play. Perry Lattimore, injured hip. So New Orleans, that's Dallas, but that spread went down from 7 to 6.5. Philly, no injuries to report. Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson injured calf. So we don't know. We just know it's a calf injury. 49ers, McCafferty, injured calf. So it's the same thing. They haven't ruled him out yet. I think that comes Thursday or Friday. We get like, okay, he's not playing or he is. Jay Jennings, receiver, injured ankle. And that's about it. Seattle, a lot of injuries, but nothing serious. Noah Fant, Tyler Lockett, injured thigh. Kenneth Walker, injured oblique. Some guards, some linebackers. Okay. Tampa, let's see. Winfield injured. Anton, so that's their all pro. Colston, defensive line, elbow. Cornerback is injured, concussion. Again, we don't know if they're playing or not. And if you're playing over-unders, you want all the defense to be injured, then it's easier to score. And if you're playing the under, you want the offense to be injured. Tennessee, we've got just some injured, nothing there. And Washington, Brooks Robinson, injured knee. I mean, everybody's just injured. So we really can't tell with this injury report what the hell is going on. And let's go to college. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to give you the spread. So I think I have one pro lock. I have 2 locks posted already. I am playing tonight's game. I have 2 locks posted and another 3 or 4 games, mostly in college. Although I do have some pros. I'll probably end up with about 8 pro picks, and I got a whole boatload of college. It's funny, when you first look at college, you look at the line, you go, fuck, I don't know. But when you start analyzing the teams and you start seeing the Z teams, you start seeing the A teams, you start looking at the yards, you go, oh, yeah, this just got a whole lot easier picking the games once you throw in the specifics. Like example, like like Troy, 265 total yards, right? Or, Liberty, they get 500 yards a game, and UTEP gets 295. All of a sudden, it makes picking the game easier when you start bringing in the important data. The Florida International, Florida Atlantic, one team averages 200, one 242. I mean, what are you kidding me there? What are they going to do? All right. So we have a game tonight. We have Texas State is now a 1-point favorite, or Arizona State's a 1-point favorite. Choose your thing, and 59.5 is the total. I can tell you for tonight, Arizona State 457, a good running team. They got a good running back, and the quarterback's decent. Texas State, really good quarterback, McLeod. Balanced offense, 478. So you're looking at 2 offensive teams here, and a 59 total. So definitely doable. All right. Kansas, 8.5, 58. That jumped up. That was 7. See, that's where probably somebody at Vegas isn't playing, or somebody at Kansas is. I mean, so that's where something's up. Why would the line move 1.5? Usually it's by injury. There certainly isn't anything else there. And yet the total didn't really move. It stayed at 58. So maybe a Vegas player isn't playing. We'll check. Hi, Mario. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, that's what I do, Mario. I'm very good at this. That's why I say I've been doing it since the 70s, so I can tell what's going on. I'll have a free pick for you guys, probably on tomorrow's show. I'm still looking. I have at least 10 picks in college. And the hardest part is narrowing them down because I go, I can play this, I can play that, I can play them, I can play this. And it's very easy. But you're welcome, Mario. I'm glad you made money on it. That's what I'm doing this for. Kansas, so up to 8.5, 58.5. We'll check that. Kansas State, 759.5 to Arizona. This could be an explosive game. Fafita, the quarterback of Arizona, is outstanding as a good receiver too. Kansas State, more of a running team and pretty good defense. Arizona doesn't have much of a defense. I think this could get 59 is doable. It's not in the 60s. We'll see. Hey, Pat. Well, I did it in the middle of football yesterday. So if you go to my video yesterday, I wasn't going to do it, but then you jumped on and Luke jumped on. I said, well, I might as well do econ, and I was getting tired. I'll probably after swim. So I'm going to just go through the lines here and then that, or if you got econ questions, just tell me. But basically, China's falling apart, Japan's falling apart, Germany's falling apart. They're getting all these Islamic people out of the countries, and as you can see, gold's starting to rock at 25.53. One guy calls it a rock. I ate him up, and then one guy says, "Well, it could go down to 1900." Like, what the fuck? What are you, an idiot? I mean, there's no way gold's going down. Gold's not going down to 2400, more or less 19. They don't understand the variables change that BRICS has come out with the gold-backed currency, which will jump demand, which jumps the gold price. And it is not just insurance. I hate when people don't understand, well, it's just insurance for inflation. No, it's not. It's an asset, just like a Rolex. There's nothing different between a Rolex and gold, except gold's price fixed and Rolex isn't. UBS or UPS? I saw UPS is in trouble. Well, let me get through the football, and then if you want to hang on, we could then go into econ. It's probably better for me because it's hard after doing this to then go swim and then be awake to do an econ class because I know they're always going to go an hour, but lately they've been 2 with all the bullshit going on. Okay, that's fine. Oh, oh, okay, yeah. Well, Deutsche Bank's in trouble, I also think, in Germany. Yeah, come back in 30 minutes. Yeah, no problem. I should be here. If I'm not, then I will do a class. I'll definitely do another class after swim, our normal 2:30, 3 o'clock time. Michigan, 23-47.5 to Arkansas State off of a loss. Arkansas State is 47. Oh, that's what they got. Arkansas State. They're an over team, but not against a team like Michigan. And Michigan is a weak offense. But I think here, I don't know what I did in this game. They're a weak offense. I got to go into my thing to see which sides I took. They're a weak offense, and it's a big number, 23, to get to 17. But I think they'll play very aggressive. Michigan off of a loss. We'll see. Texas Tech 9.5, 69.5. This is a over team versus an over team. Oak State against Tulsa. Oak State 19, 63.5. Ollie Gordon, best running back in the country. Tulsa. They get 500 yards a game, but they played a shit team. But we'll see. Oak State didn't look that great defensively against Ark State, so we'll see. LSU 7-48 against South Carolina. I have a hard time understanding this line and a hard time that LSU won't win. I mean, that just Really makes no sense. Illinois, 18.5, 48.5. Illinois looked good. They beat Kansas. Central killed somebody and then got killed by Florida International. Go figure them out. Game of the day, Alabama 16-49 to Wisconsin. And I do believe I played this game. We'll see Alabama up north. We know DeBoer, good offense, although their defenses look good. Haven't played anybody. Wisconsin, their offense does not look good. Their defense should be good. So this will be an interesting game. I think Wisconsin will be very emotional to start the game, the first half, and then we'll see what happens. Alabama, I'd be surprised if Alabama loses, but this could be a closer game. Florida State 6.5, 53.5 to Memphis. Uglia Buglia, you've got to be kidding me. How can he be favored in any game? NC State 21-49 to Louisiana Tech. I don't know. NC State got killed by Tennessee last week. They probably will be angry. Cincinnati 3.5, 46.5. Rivalry game with Miami of Ohio. Missouri 16-54 to BC. How good's BC? They beat Florida State. Does that mean anything now? Missouri is a very good team. Buffalo 3.5, 44 to UMass. UMass is Z team. Buffalo, we don't really know. They got shut out by Missouri 34-0 last week. So I don't know what that means. Are they any good or not? Well, we'll find out how they handle UMass. Coastal Carolina 18, 52.5 to Temple. Temple is the Z team. Coastal Carolina, pretty good offense. Oklahoma 13.5, 46.5 to Tulane. I think Tulane's pretty good. I don't think Oklahoma, they don't have an offense. That quarterback's terrible, that they do have a good defense. So this should be a very good game. Tulane is not a bad team. They played Kansas State pretty good, and Kansas State we know is a good team. The Fighting Irish, how will they react after losing to my Northern Illinois? Notre Dame 10, 45.5. Problem with Purdue, they played a high school team first week, and they were off the second week. We don't know what the fuck Purdue is. Notre Dame, 10-point favorites. Can they score 10 points? They haven't scored. They barely scored against A&M, and they didn't score against Northern Illinois. Riley Leonard looks terrible. I didn't understand what was the big deal about Riley Leonard. As I said last year, for Duke, he had 3 touchdowns and 3 picks, played about 6 games, and got hurt. He gets lucky against A&M, but where was he against Northern Illinois? My God. So I don't know what to do with Notre Dame right now. They're probably an under team. They're probably, they held the Northern Illinois to 16 points. Let's say that. Minnesota 17.5, 44. Nevada's looked good against SMU. Minnesota lost that heartbreaker to North Carolina. Miami 36.5, 55 to Ball State. Well, Ball State, I got news for you, is not a Z team. They are an over team. They do have a 34 defense, but they are a balanced over team, and Miami's throwing for 500 yards a game. So the 36.5 works if Ball State was Akron, was a Z team. But Ball State is not a Z team. They're an over team. I think they'll find a way to score here. We will see. Washington State, the apple cart game. Washington 4.5, 56. We don't know either team. Washington State did kill. They beat Texas Tech 34-17. Do they have a good defense? Holding Texas Tech down. Washington. How good are they? They got the Arizona coach is an excellent coach. It's like DeBoer going to Alabama. It didn't hurt Alabama. Alabama's coach or Arizona's coach went to Washington. I don't expect them to be hurt, but they got to replace Penix. We will see. So this is a good game, but I don't. Normally I would tease the dog in this game, but I am not fucking around with it. A&M 3.5, 47.5 against Florida. Again, Florida looked terrible against Miami. I think they beat a high school team last week. What do you hear? Which Florida team shows up? So I don't know. I'm sure their coach bitched them out. This is a chance to get back. Again, each week's different. You can't look at the Miami game and go, well, Florida sucks. That's it. Now, we don't think they're that good. We see Florida State's problems. We get that. So it's really, what do we do with this? Pitt, West Virginia should be a good game. West Virginia is 264.5 at Pitt. I think this is definitely a good, strong game. They came back against Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and won it. Good sign. The points, yeah, I think this is high scoring. Absolutely. Another rivalry. I don't know what they call it. Oregon State. Oregon 16.5, 51 against Oregon State. I don't know about that. Oregon played Boise. Boise ran all over them, and Oregon State's a running team. Hard to say here. This has really got me perplexed. Oregon at home's one thing. Oregon at the road against Oregon State. This will be an interesting game. Defense, quarterback, and Oregon State. Strong running team I got. Oregon passes the ball with Dylan Gabriel. Right now, I got them both. They beat San Diego State last week. Oregon State 21-0. We'll see. We know they'll be motivated. And Oregon's a good team, but they only beat Boise by 3, who's an explosive team, and Oregon State's similar to that. App State 2.5, 60.5 to East Car. How are App State going to respond to getting blown out by Clemson? I haven't had a chance. I got to read the box score. I'm sure there's a lot of pick sixes or strip sacks. I don't think Clemson had 8 drives for 60 points. Again, this will be a very pissed team off of a loss. Good quarterback Joey Aguilar. So this is where I'm at with them. I don't see. This is a low spread, I think. East Carolina, they're an under team. Weak quarterback, but they did pass for 461, but he threw a lot of interceptions. So I don't know what we got here at East Carolina. This is a tough game. Iowa, Troy, Iowa 22.5 and 38.5. You can get a 39. Troy's terrible. Z team. Iowa looked a little bit better, and now they're off of a loss against Troy at home. All right. Arkansas 24.5, 62 to UAB. Arkansas looked good against Oak State and fell apart at the end. Had a big lead and blew it, and they lost in overtime 39-31. UAB is what? They're an under team, a balanced offense. Arkansas's got a 500 offense. UAB, it must be like 300 or 400. I don't have them very strong offensively. Utah State. Utah 18-43.5, down from 20.5. We don't know about Cam Rising. This will be a Friday night pick. Utah State 43.5. If Cam plays, it's an easy Utah. If he doesn't play, then it's probably an under. Utah State, weak quarterback, 350 total yards. So it's all up to Cam. Again, it's a hurt finger. It's not a serious injury. He's not. If he's going to be out, it might be a week or two. And, because now they can numb the fingers and, it's just, can he throw the ball? I think it's on his throwing hand. Why didn't he hit the Gatorade with his left hand, right? Virginia Tech 14.5, 48.5 over Old Dominion. Old Dominion is in Virginia, as I said. Old D with a 300 offense. Virginia Tech, good quarterback and drones. Should be a pretty good game there. Let's see. Florida Atlantic 5.5, 44.5 to Florida International. Neither team has an offense. However, Florida International did put up 50 points on Central Michigan last week. I don't know what to do with this. They both look like under teams, a 200 offense and a 242. But again, Florida International got killed by Indiana, didn't score much. Maybe Indiana's got a strong defense. That's the key to it. But it's not like they played Ohio State. Florida Atlantic played Michigan State. Okay. So 2 weak offenses, it looks like. Probably a live dog here. I don't know. Again, it shows as 2 weak offenses, so we will see. Hey, Greg and John. Who do I like tonight? I like the Yankees. Liberty 23-57.5. They're the A team. UTEP's the Z team. Liberty is very strong. Good offense. Duke 16.5, 47.5 over Connecticut. They're kind of an over team. They're scoring more points than usual. Duke, I don't know, 16.5. What do I got Duke as? Duke I got as an under team. So it's hard to bet Connecticut, but you can't play Duke here. Old Mississippi, who's scoring 100 points a game against Wake Forest, who's also scoring 100 points a game. Old Miss 22.5, 63.5, 64. I believe this gets over, definitely. Eastern 1.5, 52.5 to Jacksonville State. Who knows? Jacksonville State looks terrible. Texas 35.5, 56.5 to UTSA. Are they going to be flat after beating Michigan? They got an SEC schedule, Alabama, Georgia. It's going to be tough. UTSA, they haven't replaced Frank Harris. They're struggling offensively. So the question is, how motivated is Texas? How flat will they be after beating Michigan? It's all psychology. You get killed like Cincinnati to New England or Appalachian State to Clemson. You think the team sucks and you don't want to, I'm just going to bet against them. But that was that matchup. Now it's a different thing. And these teams are going to be pissed off. On the other hand, like Texas beating Michigan, they're going to realize, they go, fuck, we just beat Michigan. We got UTSA. We don't even have to practice. That's really where you're trying to get into the psychology of week to week. Because when you lose, you're pissed. And when you win a big game, you're relaxed. Western Kentucky 7, 54 to Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky's better than they show because they played Alabama. Vanderbilt 10.5, 44 to Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's not bad. Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech. Diago Opava from old New Mexico State is quarterback, very good. San Jose State 19-44 to Tennessee State. Tennessee State's a Z team. San Jose State, they did beat my Air Force, but I knew they would. They have the old Navy coach, so he knew how to defend them. So he'll do good if they play the Army also and the Navy. That'd be interesting if they played the Navy. That's his old team. Sam Houston State 4.5, 50 against Hawaii. Let's see how Hawaii is. They played UCLA a really good game, and they held them to like 16 or 19 points. So let's see how Hawaii is. Southern Florida 11, 58 to Southern Miss. Southern Miss might be the worst team in college football over UMass, over Troy. They're a pretty bad team. My pets, the Georgia 24-45 over Kentucky. Yeah, this game will be over at halftime, I think. Go Georgia. Beat Bama. UCF. 2.5, 62 to TCU in what promises to be a very high-scoring game. Auburn, 28, 60.5 to New Mexico. New Mexico scored a lot on whoever they played week 2. I think it was TCU or something like that. Auburn just lost to Cal. So I don't know. Auburn, very thing. New Mexico, they're probably a live dog here. I'm not going to call them a Northern Illinois, but they're probably a live dog. Good game. Indiana, UCLA. Indiana 3-46 to UCLA. UCLA, strong defense. Not much. I don't like Ethan Garbers. Indiana, we don't know. They got the James Madison coach. All we know is they killed Florida International 31-7. They look like they have the James Madison defense, which is what I thought. I mean, they'll probably have an 18 defense. UCLA looks like their well, I mean, they played Hawaii, so it's hard to say, but looks like their defense, it's going to be strong. Garbers is weak. I think this is a very close game. I would love if UCLA was a home favorite. I would take Indiana. I'm inclined to take UCLA as a home dog, but we don't know enough about Indiana. So we'll see. This should be a very good game. Prime 758 over Colorado State. I think they bounce back against getting killed by Nebraska. Colorado State is not a very strong they're a 34 defense. I got them as a Z team. They throw for 300 yards. So we know Colorado has no defense, but they got a good offense. Colorado State doesn't have a good defense. I think Colorado, is mad. I think they'll play a good game here. My Air Force, Baylor, 15.5, 41.5 to my Air Force. Should be a very good game. A new quarterback for Air Force. I got to break in. Old Mississippi State, 11.5, 58 to Toledo. Toledo looks like a good team, but we don't know. Old Mississippi State, I don't know. Tennessee, 49-62 to Clark Kent. Kent State's a Z team. Tennessee just killed NC State. 49 points, such a big number. The problem is they can easily get up 35, 40 points. Then it becomes their backups. Are the backups going to keep scoring? Kent State, I don't think Kent State scores in the game. So it's just how much does Tennessee. It's like we had with these earlier Ohio State and Alabama games. Kent State's not going to help Tennessee, right? They're not going to help the over. It's going to be 0. It's how much does Tennessee do? Virginia, Maryland, good game. Maryland, I'm surprised, 2.5-point favorites, 57.5 at Virginia. I think this will be a tight game. Houston, 4.5, 44.5. Houston's defense looked very good against Oklahoma. Rice, we don't know. Kurt Warner's son's on Rice. Too bad it ain't Kurt Warner. BYU, Wyoming. Wyoming is a Z team. BYU is 11, 40.5 to Wyoming. Fresno State, Mikey Keene, 19.5, 47.5 to New Mexico State. I got New Mexico State as an E team. So they're scoring a little bit, 23 defense. They're only getting 261 yards. Fresno State did win against the high school team last week after losing to Michigan, but I think that helps because when they see New Mexico State's players after playing Michigan, I think it's like this is it. It's like the little kids out there. And Cal against San Diego State. Cal 18.5, 48. All I can say is San Diego State lost 21-0 to who did they lose it to? To Oregon State, and Cal beat Auburn 21-14 in Auburn. What are you going to do with that? I don't know. I would think Cal's going to end up being a good defensive play. San Diego State supposedly trying to get a better offense, but we don't know. So let's check injuries. But again, it's a lot of bullshit injuries. So I'm just going to really look for outs and that. The questionables, I don't know. Everybody's going, okay. Alabama, C. Adams, wide receiver, doubtful with an arm. Jay Hadler, wide receiver, out with the knee. Okay, that's meaningful. Alabama's really been running the ball, so we'll see. Arizona, nobody. Here they're giving a probable to R. Brown on Arizona State is a probable. Out with a leg on O lineman for Arizona State. Out with an arm is a linebacker. Out with the leg is a defensive lineman. Okay. Arkansas wide receiver James out with an undisclosed. Auburn's got a wide receiver, Coleman, doubtful with the shoulder. And a running back, Battle, out with the head. Nothing for Ball State. Baylor. Boise doesn't play. We don't care. BC. Running back, Broom, out with the knee. Bowling Ball, Green. Running back, Wimberly, out with an undisclosed. Buffalo. Wide receiver, McMillan, out with the knee. So the problem is we don't know if these are starters or not. That's the problem with college. There's so many players. I know if the quarterback is a starter or not, and then a few running backs outside of that. BYU, 2 running backs are out. Ropati and Martin, are they starters? And an offensive lineman. So that's what we need to check. Merriweather, Cal, wide receiver, out. Another wide receiver, Grays, out. Maybe this is why they're playing low-scoring games. Other receivers are out. Central, DB, out. Tight end, out. Wide receiver, out. God, they got enough guys. And Rose, out. So they're getting a lot of injuries. Charlotte, they don't play. Cincinnati, Sorsby, I believe, is their. I don't know if he's their quarter. I think he is their quarterback. He's questionable. Defensive end out. Defensive tackle out for Cincinnati. Clemson, linebacker McLeod, out with the knee. Coastal Carolina, running back out, and another running back doubtful. Colorado, Sanders the third is out with an arm. The safety, not the quarterback, out with an arm. And Hayden is doubtful with an undisclosed. I think he's pretty good, Hayden, the running back. But Prime the third is not going to play. Oh my God, Prime must be crying. Maybe he's going to reschedule the game when the third is healthy. Colorado State tight end is out. Duke tight end is out. Wide receiver is out. Let's see. Florida, does it matter? Florida, wide receiver out, tight end out, defensive back out, defensive back out, defensive back out, tight end out, defensive back out. That's 4 defensive backs are out. What the fuck's going on? Some of these are undisclosed, so they probably hate the coach. Some of them are shoulders and knees. Very interesting. 2 wide receivers out and a defensive lineman out for Florida. Avoid Florida at all costs. Florida Atlantic, 2 wide receivers are out and a cornerback. Florida International is fine. Florida State, Lucas, a running back's out. And D. Hill, a wide receiver's out. But not Uglia Buglia. He's going to be playing. Leading the team to 5 turnovers. Fresno State's good. My Georgia team, a defensive lineman's out. Everybody else is questionable. But Carson Beck's not on the list. Georgia State, no. Georgia Tech, 2 tight ends are out, but they're not playing. Hawaii, McBride, wide receiver, out with a suspension. Houston, McMickle, a quarterback. He's not their quarterback, is out. He's a backup. And then 2 running backs are out for Houston. Maybe that's why they're an under team. See, you start looking at the injuries and you're wondering why they're not scoring. And then you see, well, their 2 running backs are out. Now, they've been out for a while. That's August 13th. The Illinois, the linebacker is out, but these are August injuries, so I don't care about them because they've been playing like they beat Kansas last week, these guys that were out. So anything in August, I'm going to ignore. Indiana, yeah, there's some out. August 31st out, I don't care about. Some linemen. Otherwise, they're all right. Iowa, wide receiver Anderson's doubtful. That's it. Small list. Iowa State, we don't care. They're not playing. Jacksonville State. L. Smothers, the quarterback's questionable. We don't care. Running back out with a toe. Wide receiver out with an elbow for Jacksonville State. Kansas, O-lineman out with the knee, and tight end out with an Achilles. A lot of Achilles injuries. Clark Kent. There is actually C. Kent, right? Here it is. Clark Kent playing for Kennesaw State, probably wearing his glasses, keeping his cape hidden. Tight end, he's doubtful. I had to laugh at that one. I saw Clark Kent on playing. Who's this? Kent State, a quarterback to Shields. I don't know who he is out. Kentucky, running back out with the hand, running back doubtful. Yeah, the whole team gets doubtful when you play Georgia. And a wide, well, that's it. So these are current. Yeah. The running back out, Patterson and Terranium are both out. Will Kentucky cross midfield is the question. Lou Lafayette, wide receiver out. L-Tech, cornerback Turner, he's probable. Louisville's good. LSU, Bobby Bowe's out with the hamstring. K. Roberts out. O-line, let's just say O-lineman out. DE out. Linebacker out for LSU. Defensive tackles out with an Achilles. So they do have 4 guys out. Let's see, a D tackle, a D end, and a linebacker. So that's 3 defense out and an O lineman. Maryland, nothing. Memphis, running back out with the leg. Miami of Florida, they're fine. Miami of Ohio, they're fine. Michigan, defensive back is out with the knee on September 4th. They could have used him against Texas, I think. Michigan State, 2 DBs are out as of September 5th and a wide receiver. Minnesota O-lineman out. And as of September 7th, they lost a defensive lineman, a running back, and a cornerback. So a little bit. They got a good defense. This won't help them. Sammy Davis Jr. on Mississippi State, running back, is out with the knee. Missouri, they're okay. The Navy, they're questionable. Nebraska, they don't play anybody. Nevada, nothing. New Mexico, nothing. North Carolina, defensive end out. That's it. North Texas, running backs out September 9th. We don't care. They throw the ball all over the place. Great offense, North Texas. Northern Illinois, they got the week off. They beat Notre Dame. They don't have to play anymore. Northwestern, D lineman out. That's it. Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, probable with the labium. Do they want him playing? They don't realize he's terrible. Cornerback out with the knee, running back out with the knee, O-lineman out with the pectoral. An SAF, I don't know. I guess it's a safety out. An O-lineman out. Another safety out. All these on September 5th. So, 2 safeties, 2 offensive linemen, a cornerback, and a running back are out for the Irish. Not the Fighting Irish. They didn't fight. They just were Irish. The leprechaun ran around crying after the game. I loved it. Ohio State doesn't play. Oklahoma, 2 wide receivers are out September 6th, which is probably why they're not scoring. There's always a method to my madness here. Oak State, linebacker out September 7th. Ole Miss is fine. Oregon, just a bunch of questionable, undisclosed. Oregon State, wide receiver Jay East out. Maybe that's why they're not scoring. D lineman out. Penn State's not playing. Pitt, nothing. Purdue playing Notre Dame. A defensive back is doubtful. A wide receiver is doubtful. That's it. Rice is clean. Rutgers. A lot of questionable, undisclosed, like the whole team. San Diego State. So they got these August injuries. We don't care because the team's already been playing without the player. SMU running back out. That's it. South Carolina linebacker doubtful. Lineman out. South Florida running back Powell out. Let's hope he's not a good running back if we're betting South Florida. TCU, everybody's questionable. Temple, wide receiver out. Does it matter for Temple? Another wide receiver out. Big Tennessee, defensive lineman out. That's it. Texas. T. Owens, I don't know who that is. The rest are the running backs in August. Okay, so Texas is healthy. A&M, D lineman out, wide receiver out, O lineman out. Texas Tech, nothing. Toledo, a bunch of questionables. Troy, wide receiver out, September 11th. Tulsa, wide receiver out. UCF, no, nothing. UCLA, defensive lineman out, running back out, tight end out, running back out, linebacker out. These are all September 8th. So they basically have 2 running backs and a defensive lineman and linebacker for our Indiana game. UConn, a running back is out with the finger, Rosa. UMass, Vegas, USC, nothing. Utah, Cam Rising, questionable with the finger. Don't have a clue. That's as of Saturday, September 7th. They're not updating it. Just judged by the line. That's all you can do. If the line goes to 20, he's in. If it goes down to 14, he's out. Utah State, nothing. UTSA, the Roadrunners, my favorite logo. Vanderbilt, nothing. Virginia, nothing. VTech, nothing. Wake, nothing. Washington, 2 tight ends are out and defensive lineman's out. That could be a problem for them. Another tight end's questionable. Well, they're getting killed on their tight ends. Washington State, wide receiver. Well, he's an August guy. Western Michigan, nothing. Wisconsin, Griffin, wide receiver, out. That's it. Wyoming, wide receiver out with an ankle. And that's it. So those are all your injuries. We still didn't get confirmation on Cam Rising. That's what you can do. So I am playing the pro game tonight. I don't think I'm playing the college game tonight. Maybe, but I don't think so as of now. Because I've got other games. So you take this mountain of games, there's roughly, 60 games. And I look at them and I analyze them, and who's the Z team and who's the A team, da-da-da-da-da. And then you get to maybe 25 games. And I could easily bet 25 games. But I like winning, so I like to narrow down my return on investment, what the better choices are, and that's what I do. So the better choices are getting that. So that's where I'm at with it. So I could play the game tonight, but I got better games to play. And that's how I have such a good percentage, is feeling and thinking about these other games and knowing, okay, I have a better, like I said, The return is the same if I bet Alabama or I bet Utah State, right? It pays 11 to 10 on the teaser. So do I want to bet on Alabama? Or do I want to bet on Utah State? Well, it depends on who's playing who. Uh, you know, there's a lot of littler games that are very good. I got a couple of good little plays with the littler teams this week. So that's really what you got is to understand that. So that's what I do. So I just double check the injuries. You see UCLA's got tight end problems. You go, oh, that's why they're not scoring. There's always a reason for it. Usually last year somebody had like 4 receivers out and they couldn't score. Well, there's a reason. How you get all your receivers injured is just bad coaching, I think. Anyway, so that's football. 2 locks posted, several games posted. I will have more posts. So all I can tell you, I got a question from a guy. He bought the year, and he goes, "Well, when do you post?" And I says, "I don't know. It's not a specific time. It's after studying it. It's a specific feel." So I saw the games, and oh, that's a lock. That's a lock. So those got posted last night. Sometimes they get posted Friday. It depends if I'm waiting on injuries. I did play the pro game tonight, like I said, and some of the pros are there. And I was worried about Stafford, but he's fine. Arizona's favored, so Kyler Murray, I assume, is playing. Okay, that affects that game. So that's kind of what I wait a little bit for are the injuries, because you don't want to be betting Arizona and then Kyler Murray's out. Fuck, I didn't know. So that's what you're at. Then it's the bounce back games. Michigan off of a loss. Cincinnati Bengals, oh my God, they look terrible. Cleveland looked terrible. So are they going to look that bad again? Probably not. Well, look at Clemson. They got crushed by Georgia, right? 33 to nothing or 34 to 3, I think. And then they killed, App State 66 to 17. That's the way it works in football. It's all motivation. I'm sure Clemson was scared shitless playing Georgia. Then they get App State, and after playing Georgia, you're like, oh, these guys are little high school kids. We can beat them. And that's what you got to understand is how a team reacts after the loss. I'm sure Michigan will play a good game. I'm sure Cincinnati Bengals will play a good game. Is it enough with this Xavier guy on Kansas City now? I think he played for Texas, and Kelsey and Pacheco and Mahomes. And, the defense will get better. Most of it is the defense got tired last week. You're going to see a stronger defense this week, and then next week they should be 100%. You can't just say, go play 60 minutes, boys, and you hadn't played them. That's the coaches. That's bad, terrible coaching. Not wanting to get anybody hurt. Oh my God. Are you serious? So anyway, that's today's lines and today's injuries. I give you the grades on the teams. You're looking for this is not Say's law. This is art of war. This is find strength and find weakness, and we attack weakness. And we don't fuck with strength. So we don't bet against Alabama here or Georgia. Never, We either bet them or bet against them or look for an over-under on them and then watch them destroy. But that's not – you're not going to make a lot of money betting against Georgia, Alabama. It's not, maybe when they play each other, we take the dog, but that's it. Otherwise – we're looking over teams and under teams and trying to figure out, is the line right? There's an over game, but the line's high, and you're going, well, is it prudent to bet that game? We know it'll be high scoring. So what you're trying to do is kind of look for a high scoring game, but the line is in the 50s or a under game with the lines in the 50s. So if you can get under teams in the 50s, then it's a real good bet. I'm shocked, like Iowa's 39 against Troy. Like, really? Interesting. So anyway, that's the game. So if you want my picks, where I go through and here's my lock and here's my picks, www.teaserking.com, and just hit purchase the class you want. Then I'll email you back we'll arrange a time. And depending on how many people, we'll set it. But that's really set for, I would do a short class today to go through today's pick, because it's only one pick, right? And then I will go through Friday night with college, and Saturday night and Friday night with the pros. And then Saturday morning, we'll just go through the line and, Cam Rising is or he's not. And same thing Sunday. Who's playing? Is Jordan Love playing or not? Again, the best way to really know is watch the line. Vegas will not get fucked that easily. So Green Bay will be favored if Love's playing, just like Cam Rising. So you'll know, probably the day before, probably Friday, they'll switch the line, not wanting to get killed on a Saturday with the old line. Anyway, so that's football. Let's check our gold. 25.48. So it's sitting in there on our way to 26. So the people that don't think it'll go to 25, get over 25, they're wrong. Silver 29.78. It's making its run. Can it get over 32? This was supposed to make a run gold at 25.30, and it finally got over 25.30. They were trying to keep it down. It got to 34, went to 27, and then it shot up, and then 34, and then it finally shot, and it's sitting at 25.48. So we are looking for that magic 2,600 number, and then 3,000 is our next number. So buy as much as you can, because it's going to be scarce, and you're not going to be able to afford it. Or instead of buying with 10 grand, I bought 8 ounces. Now with 10 grand, I get to buy 3 ounces. So you can see the difference, right? I can buy 8 now. I can only buy 3. So that's why you want to get them as quick as you can while they're still available, because people are buying. That's why this price is going up, even though it's central banks. And then the outsiders look at it and they get scared. They go, "Oh fuck, maybe we should buy gold. Gold's 25.49. It's never been this high. Maybe we should buy gold." That's what happens. As you see it going up, everybody runs and joins. Oh, let's join the club. And they don't know why they're buying gold. They just see it going up, so they want to buy it. And that's really the key to it, is understanding what's happening. So as the fear comes in, more people will buy it. We will see. Anyway, silver 29.78 up 110. So silver is still a good buy. It'll be $1,000 an ounce once it's free. Right now, COMEX has it, but how long is it going to be COMEX? And it's priced in US dollars. And how long is the dollar going to be around to keep pricing it? People just seem to think the dollar will not collapse. It'll just keep going. It's the US. How can it go wrong? Because you print it to fucking death. That's how. So people don't want to face, what's the word? People don't want to face reality. Yeah, we got $150 trillion that nobody wants. That means the value goes to zero. Therefore, I better get out of it, because if I hold it, it's worthless. Why would I want to hold it? And that's what I say when some guy says gold is a coin. Gold's just a coin, and or it's just a rock. Well, what's a Rolex? It's just a watch, and a Picasso's just a painting. Oh yeah, some guy named Picasso painted it. Well, that's the stupidest thing. That's why it's worth something. It's Mickey Mantle. It's Picasso. It's a Rolex. That's where the value comes from, and that's why gold has value because it's gold and it is an investment. So you bought it at 1800. It's 2550 right now. Moving on up. So what is that? 2550. That's not an investment. Then what is an investment? Losing your money in Madoff, losing your money in stocks, losing your money in the banks. What is an investment? It's something that you're trying to make money at. Why is gold not an investment? Gold is money, but it's well, it's not gold going up, it's the dollar going down. Well, that's bullshit. How can the dollar go down? It's worthless now. The dollar's not going down. This is created by Comex. That's what's doing it. It's now 25.50. Uh, it went to 47 and now it's back to 50 on its way up. So what the fuck? Why is it not an investment? Why do people think it's the dollar going down? Like the dollar is at one, it's lost 99% of its value. So where is it going? It can only go to 100% loss, not, and to say inflation's over is just pure bullshit. How can inflation be 2%? 2% of what? You're not including food or heating prices in your analysis. So what are you including in it? Golf clubs? I mean, tennis rackets? You're not including heating and you're not including food. Well, then how do you get 2% of what? How do you get percentage when it's got nothing to do with prices? It's the money's printed, which makes the money worthless, which makes you need more money. It hurts what you can buy with it. So you need more money to buy a can of tuna, right? So more money to buy the can of tuna, that creates you to then they raise it. They're not raising prices. It's just the dollar's worth less. Well, how does that make gold go up? Because it would in a free market, but it's not in this fixed COMEX world. It's not. The dollar's value has no determination on the gold, and it is not an insurance policy. It's the same insurance policy as a Van Gogh and a Rolex. It's an asset worth money, and it's money. And the reason, so when your dollar goes out, yeah, but don't tell me that gold isn't a value. Well, if Rolex, why does Rolex, if we're times are good, why is Rolex so expensive? I mean, these people are just so fucking stupid. I'll get into that in my econ class later. So, Pat, I'm going to go swim and probably come back about 3 and then do a econ class 3:30 Detroit time. Anyway, so have a good day. Good luck tonight if you're betting. Again, we got Arizona State, Texas State, and we got Buffalo and Miami. I'm sure Josh Allen's fine, and basically Miami, couple of defensive guys look like they're doubtful, which is good. And I just don't see Tag winning it's a big game against a good team. I don't think Tag ain't going to win the game. He can't win it. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. I will see you for economics. Go to the pool, come back. So about 3:00-ish. All right. Have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. If you want to join the class where I go through the picks, go to the Teaser King, hit the picks. I'll get the email and I will schedule a class with you. I already have a Monday and Friday class set up with my friend in LA. $25 for that. One's college, one's pro. How to bet it, how to get from 60 games to the 10 or 15 I want to bet on, and why. Why do I pick this team? How does it? How do you win? How do you money manage? So we're going through all that. You're welcome to join that. $25 a class. It's a Zoom link, so feel free to join. All right, everybody. Have a good day.